So today, we're diving into the absolutely incredible early life of one of history's greatest philosopher saints, Adi Shankara. His childhood wasn't just about studying. No, it was packed with mind-blowing miracles, deep compassion, and divine encounters that really set the stage for his life's work. Let's get right into it.
It sounds like a strange riddle, doesn't it? But believe it or not, this bizarre and super dramatic event is actually the climax of our story today. It's the moment where a young boy's entire destiny hangs in the balance, and it all gets sorted out with a brilliant argument made from inside the jaws of a crocodile.
Okay, so to really understand how we got to that wild moment with the crocodile, we have to go back to the beginning. Because Shankara, well, he was no ordinary kid. From his very first days, it was crystal clear he was meant for something truly great.
Now, let's just pause on that for a second. We're not talking about being a good student or being a bit ahead in class. By 8 years old, at an age when most of us are just figuring out multiplication tables, Shankara had completely mastered the Vedas and the Shastras. I mean, that's the entire spiritual and intellectual library of his culture. He was a true prodigy, a divine intellect in the body of a young boy. Just incredible. But here's the thing. His genius wasn't just about books and intellect. It was deeply, deeply connected to this huge capacity for compassion. And that compassion led to some of the most famous miracles of his young life. So picture this. As part of his traditional education, Shankara would go door to door to collect alms, for his food. One day, his path takes him to this tiny hut where a woman living in just extreme poverty lived. She sees this radiant, divine-looking child at her door, and her heart just breaks. And that was her first thought. Not, oh, I'm so poor, but I have nothing to give this boy. She felt this immense sorrow, not for herself, but because she couldn't offer him anything. She frantically searched her entire home, just desperate to find something, anything at all. And she found one thing, a single gooseberry. That was it. It was literally the last piece of food she had in the world. And without a second thought, she gave it to him. She placed it in his bowl as her offering. Shankara was just so deeply moved by this. This woman, who had absolutely nothing, gave him everything she had. In that one moment, he felt her goodness, her purity of heart, and he just started to pray. Right there, on the spot, he composed this beautiful, powerful hymn to the goddess Lakshmi. And this is where it gets amazing. The goddess heard his prayer. In response to his heartfelt plea, a shower of pure gold gooseberries rained down on her little hut, completely ending her poverty forever. That hymn, by the way, became famously known as the Kanakadhara Stavam, the hymn of the golden shower. Wow. And his compassion wasn't just for strangers. After he got back from his studies, he saw his mother, Aryambal, was getting older and weaker. It made her so sad that she couldn't make the long walk to the Purna River for her daily prayers anymore. Seeing her so heartbroken, Shankara prayed, not to a god, but directly to the river itself. And what happened? The river actually changed its course. It started flowing right past their family garden, so his mother would never have to struggle to get to it again. So these events show us his incredible power and compassion, right? But soon, a higher calling was about to present him with the greatest challenge of his life. Imagine this. Shankara's alone, and suddenly the Saptarshis appear before him. These are the 7 great celestial sages, some of the most revered beings in the entire tradition. So, yeah, this wasn't just some casual meeting. This was a divine summons. And their message was direct and it was urgent. They basically reminded him of his purpose, what they called his avatar's work. They told him that faith was fading in the world, and that his mission, his destiny, was to travel the land and restore it. The call had come. Shankara knew exactly what this meant. To do this, he had to become a sannyasi, a wandering monk totally free from all worldly ties. But this created a huge conflict. How could he possibly leave his widowed mother? He loved her so much, and she relied on him completely. Well, as you can imagine, his mother said, absolutely not. No way. So Shankara was stuck, his divine duty on one side and his love for his mother on the other. They seemed impossible to reconcile. And that's when destiny stepped in the most shocking way possible. One day, he's bathing in that very same Purna River, the one he moved for his mother, when a crocodile lunges out, clamps its jaws around his leg, and starts dragging him down. He cries out, and his mother comes running to the riverbank, just absolutely frantic with terror. So, as his mother is watching in horror, totally helpless, Shankara calls out to her. But instead of just crying for help, he presents her with this unbelievable choice. He says, "Mother, my fate in this life is to die right now, killed by this crocodile. But if you give me your permission to become a sannyasi, I can spiritually die to this life and be reborn into a new one, a life the crocodile has no claim over." It's an escape clause, a loophole in destiny itself.
What could she do? I mean, really. On one hand, the certain death of her son, on the other, losing him to a life of wandering. She made the only choice a mother could. Through her tears, she gave her consent, choosing his life and his destiny over her own desire to keep him home. And with those words, everything changed in an instant. The deal with destiny was made, and Shankara's path was finally clear.
The very second his mother gave her permission, the crocodile just opened its jaws and let him go. He was completely unharmed. But he wasn't just her son anymore. His old life ended right there in the river. He was now a sannyasi, and his real journey, his mission to enlighten the world, had just begun. This whole story with the crocodile is so fascinating, right? Because it makes you wonder. Shankara was faced with this crisis, this moment of fate, but he used his incredible mind to grab hold of it, to turn a tragic ending into a powerful beginning. It really makes you think about those critical moments in our own lives, doesn't it? Hey, if you found this story about the young Adi Shankara as amazing as I did, please do me a favor and give this explainer a like. Share it with anyone you know who loves a great story about faith and destiny. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.